back to online class. I'm your science teacher, Mr. CP Barrett, and we are going to start the chapter matter in our surrounding. Actually, we have started our chapter. Today date is 24. Okay, no problem. This is for the class 9th and our chapter is matter in our surrounding. Before this particular lecture, I have taken 2 more lectures, okay, and wherever we have talked about some of the properties of some states of the matter. First was what? First was the solid state. In case of the solid state, we have talked what are the basic properties of the solid, okay, how they looks like, about their some of the properties like they are hard, the force of attraction is very strong in case of the solid, but the rate of the diffusion it is very less as compared to the liquid as well as with the gas. After that we have talked about the liquid. What is the basic property of the liquid? They have the fixed volume, but they don't have the fixed shape. Actually their shape it depends upon the type of the container in which they are going to be stored. And after that liquid, the rate of the diffusion it is more than the solid, but rate of diffusion it is less as compared to the gas. And after that right now we have reached in the same series we have reached towards the gaseous state. Right now see what is gaseous state. Okay, we are known, there are so many example of the gases. You can say like air is the example of gas, any of the smoke, it is also the example of gas. So what are the basic property? You can see what I have written here. First is the highly compressible. Highly compressible means gases are very much highly compressible. We can compress the gas in a large extent, and you can see their compressibility is more as compared to the solid also, as compared to the liquid also. Okay, you can compress the gas in a highly extent. What is the good example? You can say I have written here LPG. Okay, LPG it is a cooking gas known as the liquefied petroleum gas, and that particular gas it is filled in the cylinders, and that gas cylinder only we are going to use in our homes, in our kitchen for cooking of the food. Same like that the another example comes in front of you, that is the CNG. So many times we have listened the name. What is the full form of CNG? Compressed natural gas. Okay, what is the meaning of C here? Compressed. Compressed natural gas means it is a natural gas and it is actually used in form of the compressed form, and that's why it is known as the compressed natural gas. So what is actually done? Actually these both the gases they are filled under the high pressure inside the cylinder. They are filled under the high pressure inside the cylinder because the gases are highly compressible, so they can be compressed to a higher extent, and even they can be stored within a what you can say within a cylinder also. And in such a way we can fill a large amount of gas within a small container, you can say within a small container, because the gases are highly compressible in nature, and that's why because of this particular property only we are able to use the LPG, we are able to use the CNG, because they can be compressed to a larger extent and they can be stored in a small container, in a small cylinder. Maximum gas can be filled. So that was the case. Right now see, if we talk about the rate of diffusion, what is the meaning of rate of diffusion? I have told you earlier classes. Diffusion means how much they are mixing with the other particles. Okay, and this diffusion actually it is a thing which is actually depends upon the distance between the particles, and okay, what is the space that is available in between the particles of the matter. So because we are going to talk about the gas, so in the gases what is the arrangement of the particles? Actually the particles they are situated at a very far distance from each other, and the force of attraction which is working in between them it is also very less, and that is the reason their rate of diffusion it is very much high as compared to the solid also, as compared to the liquid also. For example, if we take one example, so a daily life example we can say, for example you are in your study room. For example you are in your study room and your mother is cooking a good dish in the kitchen. So what happens? The aroma of the hot dish, you can smell it from a far distance also. Suppose you are studying in the another room and your father is working in the another room, and from there also we are able to smell what is the aroma of the hot dish, and we will come to know, before our mother telling to us, we will come to know what kind of the dish it is going to be prepared right now. and immediately we reach to the kitchen. And that is the thing, means because of the rate of diffusion. What is the reason behind it? The reason is only the rate of diffusion is very much high as compared to the gas. Even you can compare it with the case of the hot dish with the case of the cold dish. Whatever the cold dishes are there which are kept inside the kitchen, we are not able to smell it. Why? Because they are the cold dish. So cold dish, so they are not in a vaporized form and they are not mixing with the particle of the gas. And if you will compare it with the hot dish, so what happened? Whatever the aroma is arising whenever we are cooking the food, so whatever the aroma that is going to be arised, it is immediately mixed with the particle of the gas. And because the gas, it is anytime motion, because of the kinetic energy, the particles are continuously moving, and that's why we are able to smell it from a farther distance also. That is all about the gas. What are the common properties? Their shape, size, not fixed, not definite. Their volume is also not definite. In case of the liquid, volume is fixed, but in case of the gas, volume is also not fixed. Okay. Right now see, and their force of attraction is less in between the particles. Particles are situated at a very far distance, but the diffusion rate, it is very much high. Compressible, they are highly compressible. Okay, so these are some of the basic properties. Right now we are moving towards the changing the states of the matter. One question arises in our mind: can the states can be changed? Whatever the states they are already having, for example, solid state, liquid state and gaseous state, actually these three states are there in front of us. So either we can change any solid state into the liquid state, or any liquid state we can change into the gaseous state. Either it is possible. Yes, we are knowing that it is possible. And how it is possible? So because of temperature. It is possible because of the temperature. You can see ice, when we are applying the heating, when we are heating the ice, so immediately it is converted in form of the water. Sometimes we need not to heat the ice also. When you are keeping the ice at a room temperature, after the some time, immediately it is converted into the water particles. Same like that water. If you will take the example of water, so what happens when we are applying heat to the water particles? So after the some time, okay, it is converted into the water vapor. That we are knowing it. What is the conclusion right now? Conclusion is that by applying the temperature, by increasing the temperature, by applying the heat, we can change the states of matter. Means any solid state, it is converted into the liquid state, and any of the liquid state, it can be converted into the gaseous state. Right now see, actually what happens? What is the reason behind it? So what happens when we are increasing the temperature? When we are applying heat and when we are increasing the temperature, so what is happening? By increasing the temperature, we all are knowing that all the particles, they are always in the motion, they are continuously in the motion, so they all are having kinetic energy. And when we are applying the temperature, when we are giving them the heat, so there is an increase in the kinetic energy. Whatever the particles are there, their kinetic energy, it is increased. Okay, their kinetic energy increased, and after that what happens? Vibration starts. Okay, whatever the particles, they are already vibrating, but right now they are vibrating at a faster speed. They are operating at a faster speed. They are colliding with each other with the faster speed. And one particular time, after reaching some time, whenever we are applying the sufficient heat, so at the moment at which the heat supplied by us, it is equal to the force of attraction in between the particles. Whatever the heat that we are applying to the particles, actually it is overcome by the force of attraction in between the particles. And that is the reason whenever the ice, it changes into the water, and if you are going to measure the temperature of the ice before the experiment, and after that, after the experiment, if you are again measuring the temperature of the water, so you will find that both the temperature are same. You will find that both the temperature are same. Whatever the temperature of ice, it is also equal to the temperature of water. Why? Still we are applying some heat. So what happens? Where is that heat is going on? So actually whatever the heat that is given by us, it is just going for balancing the force of attraction in between the particles. Whatever the force of attraction in between the particles, actually that heat, it is going to be used for breaking that force of attraction. And after that what happens? One moment comes when the particles, the force of attraction, it is breaks up, and after that the particles they are free, they become free to move, and that moment actually the solid particles, the arrangement of the particles which is in form of the solid, it is going to be changed into the liquid form. Same like that, whenever the water, what happens in case of the water, in case of the liquid, same thing happen. Whatever the arrangement in the liquid means what kind of the particles are there, what kind of the space are there. So when we are applying the heat, so temperature is increased, kinetic energy increased, okay, and after that the particles they have the higher kinetic energy, and the moment at which the force of attraction breaks up, the moment at which the force of attraction it is going to be overcome by the heat applied by us, by the heat applied by the flame. So at that particular moment the particles they become free for the motion, and in such moment all the particles of the liquid just try to move into the another state, and that's why the particles of the liquid, okay, they are just converted in form of the water vapor. So that is the reason behind it. Right now see what is the melting point. What is the melting point? So very easy definition, the minimum temperature at which any solid changes into the state. The minimum temperature at which any of the solid it changes into the liquid state, but at a atmospheric pressure. That particular point it is very much necessary to write down here, at the atmospheric pressure. Why we are including atmospheric pressure? Because the role of pressure is also very much important here. Actually when we are increasing the temperature, so pressure is going to be reduced, and that's why it should be happen at a atmospheric pressure. What is the atmospheric pressure? The pressure which is applied by the air, it is known as atmospheric pressure. So what is melting point? Nothing, the conversion of solid state into the liquid state, okay. So whatever the minimum temperature this conversion happens, that minimum temperature it is known as the melting point. But what is the main thing? It happens in the atmospheric pressure. What is the atmospheric pressure of the ice? You can see 273.15 Kelvin. 273.15 Kelvin, and if you are going to talk about in the degree centigrade, so it is equal to the degree centigrade. In the next class I will tell you how to convert Kelvin into the degree centigrade and how to convert degree centigrade into the Kelvin. Right now see what happens. What is the fusion? Another definition I am going to tell you what is fusion. Actually I have not written here. So the process by which the solid particles they are converted into the liquid particles, or the process by which the solid state it is changing into the liquid state, that particular process it is known as fusion. So the process is known as fusion. Okay, what is the melting point? It is the minimum temperature at which the solid changes into the liquid state, but at atmospheric pressure. Right now see one more thing is coming here, that is the latent heat of fusion. Latent heat of fusion. What is the meaning of latent heat? The meaning of latent heat is hidden heat. Latent means hidden, छिपा हुआ, which we are not able to see. Right now see what is the definition of the latent heat of fusion. Fusion, what is the meaning of fusion here? Fusion here, conversion of the solid state into the liquid state. Conversion of the solid state into the liquid state. Right now see what is the latent heat of fusion? The amount of heat energy which is required. The amount of heat energy which is required for what? To change the 1 kg of solid, to change the 1 kilogram of solid into the liquid state. To change 1 kilogram of solid into the liquid state, but again same at the atmospheric pressure and at the melting point. कहां पे होना चाहिए ये पूरा प्रोसेस? कब होना चाहिए? एट द एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर. एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर पे होना चाहिए. एंड आफ्टर दैट किस पे होना चाहिए? एट द मेल्टिंग पॉइंट. क्योंकि मेल्टिंग पॉइंट होगा देन ओनली द सॉलिड दे विल कन्वर्ट इनटू द लिक्विड स्टेट. सो दिस इज नोन एज द लेटेंट हीट ऑफ फ्यूजन. Right now see once again I am going to repeat the definition and we will talk about some more in the next class. What is the latent heat? Latent heat is the hidden heat. Right now see the definition. How to create the definition we need not to learn. The amount of heat energy which is required. The amount of heat energy which is required for what? For changing 1 kilogram of solid. For changing 1 kilogram of solid substance into the liquid state. 1 kilogram of solid substance into the liquid state. But at what? At the atmospheric pressure and the melting point. So this particular heat it is known as latent heat of fusion. And because of the latent heat of fusion we can say that the water particles they have the greater energy, they have the higher kinetic energy as compared to the solid particles. Whatever the particles means when the ice changes into the water, so we can say that all the water particles, all the liquid particles they have the higher energy as compared to the solid particles. Why? Because of this latent heat. Because the latent heat is included with the water particles and because of it we can say that they have the higher energy. In the next class, I will explain you some more. Thank you so much.